Bitcoin pumped all the way back towards the CME gap exactly like we predicted. And now I'm gonna be exactly talk about the next major resistance for Bitcoin, the reasons why we did saw this major pump towards the upside. Of course, I will be also talking about the major breakouts we're currently seeing and much more. So without any further ado, guys, today's update video will be packed with important information about the upcoming month February, because yes, February is going to be a very important month for Bitcoin and crypto in general. So I'm gonna be exactly talking about what I'm currently seeing, what has currently happened always before, and much more important information. So without any further ado, guys, don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1,000 likes. That will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the reasons why Bitcoin obviously, of course, pumped. So yesterday, it was the Federal Reserve meeting once again. They came out with a decision to, of course, keep the interest rates like they are currently. And yes, this wasn't something that wasn't necessarily all too unexpected, because it was already 99.8% priced in the market. So yeah, this really didn't came all too unexpected. And Jerome Powell was talking about Bitcoin in his conference, and he did stated some very positive things about Bitcoin, like banks are perfectly able to serve cryptocurrency customers. And also, earlier today, Trump's company, Trump's media, announced that they're going to be buying $250 million worth of Bitcoin and crypto. And guys, honestly, if you can't see what is currently happening, you are just going to be losing out here, because it is so obvious what currently is happening. Trump media, his company, is buying loads of Bitcoin and altcoins. And isn't it clear for what is about to be happening next year? These large companies are buying Bitcoin, and he is the sitting president. And of course, he has not announced a strategic crypto/Bitcoin reserve yet here. And honestly, it is very likely that this is going to be happening next year, as soon as they accumulated enough cryptocurrency and enough Bitcoin. So I'm very excited for what is about to be happening next. And looking at the chart, I mean, we've exactly filled up the CME gap like we were predicting. I mean, Bitcoin came down heavily, and now straight away, approximately 3 days after, filled up the CME gap again here. So that's a very extremely bullish sign in my opinion. Now what we're seeing is that Bitcoin is clearly retesting this major level of previous resistance. And yeah, once again, this level is of course acting as resistance. And as soon as we do break above this level, I do think we could start to see Bitcoin go a little bit higher. We have been breaking outside of the falling wedge pattern, which we have been creating. You can see over here on the Bitcoin price action, ever since we were in this consolidation phase, we of course consolidated sideways for a long time. Now we've seen that move towards the upside, the downward sloping consolidation phase of a falling wedge structure. And now we've actually broken above the downward sloping resistance line we have been getting rejected from multiple times in a row here. So Bitcoin is breaking the downtrend right now here. And actually, ever since it broke the downtrend, it saw a very strong continuation higher. And just like I said on yesterday's video as well here, whenever we break the downtrend, what I want to see getting broken next year is of course this horizontal level sitting around at $105,000. So Bitcoin is currently retesting that level, but of course, as soon as we do break above this horizontal high right here, I do think the continuation could be taking place, and a price target of a falling wedge is always going to be the top side of the wedge here, which in this case is going to be somewhere around, what is it going to be, 108 towards $109,000. And from off this point, there will be like a 3.5% move higher. So Bitcoin is really looking like it's going to be pushing back higher. And honestly, we're just in the midst of this major consolidation phase, trading against all-time highs here, and ultimately Bitcoin just looks like it is about to be exploding anytime soon here. I mean, you can still see that we're right now approaching this very important previous level of big support, now flipping into resistance. So yeah, really, this is going to be an important level to be breaking above of. And as soon as we are going to be breaking above this range right here, that is of course the confirmation we are going to be seeing that next rally higher for Bitcoin. So super excited for what is about to be happening next here. And honestly, if we're just looking back at Bitcoin towards 2017, compare it right now to 2025, the structure of the pattern are looking very similar. And you have to understand that in a bull market, the last few days, the last few months here is where the most amount of gains are realized. To be like, there's a very important and famous saying, the last 100 days of a bull market is where the most amount of gains are realized, and that is actually also very true here. So really, to be fading Bitcoin just moments before we are most likely going to be topping out is actually very bad thing to be doing. So February also historically a very strong month. It was a very good month for the last 4 years here. I mean, last year we went up over 40%. In 2021, which was exactly 4 years ago, if you still believe in a 4-year cycle, we were up about 36%. So yeah, February looks to be an extremely great month for Bitcoin. And then we can also see, of course, if we're going to compare these cycles, that yeah, Bitcoin doesn't really look topped out at all here. And yeah, we just also got, of course, that Federal Reserve meeting. We did have some positive words about Bitcoin, and the last few times in bull markets we did got these meetings, Bitcoin actually pumped quite heavily after those meetings. So very excited for what is about to be happening next year. And if we're going to be looking like, okay, every single time Bitcoin is going to be adding a zero, it takes us like double the amount of cycles. So yeah, if we're going to be being realistic for that $1 million target, it probably is going to take another 12 years for Bitcoin. So that's a very interesting thesis. So let's see how it's going to be playing out here. But of course, it all depends on all the things that are going to be playing out worldwide here. So I really do take this chart with a grain of salt here. But for your information, of course, these higher targets are going to be taking longer to be achieved here. So very excited for that here. So if we're looking also at the US Bitcoin spot ETF flows, yesterday the flows were extremely bad here, honestly. There were not so much inflows. We did still had a positive inflow, but BlackRock unfortunately selling for the first time in like 12 or 11 days here. So that's quite unfortunate to see, but not all too bad here. It was like $28 million. So Bitcoin is ultimately breaking out here. February is ultimately a very strong month here. And yeah, we're still waiting for the major catalyst. But like we know here, Trump media first wants to be buying probably all its Bitcoin himself before he's going to be announcing this plan here, because yeah, it makes sense, right? He wants to be having some more Bitcoin himself before announcing that strategy. But yeah, really, that strategic reserve is going to be the catalyst for Bitcoin to be most likely pushing higher. And ultimately, if you're always going to be looking at points where Bitcoin, of course, breaks towards new highs, it's always after we saw a major shakeout on the lower side here. So here, major shakeout, we go higher. Major shakeout, we go higher. Then also here, major shakeout before the major pump here. And then once again over here, major shakeout before the pump. And then once again, shakeout, and now we start to be moving up again here. This is just something very common Bitcoin does so many times here. And yeah, it's very interesting it's playing out again here. So guys, if you right now want to be trading Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, or anything, their best exchange to be doing so is definitely going to be Blofin. Blofin is an exchange which allows you to trade Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies with leverage. And guys, don't forget to check it out in the link description of today's video. If you already use that link, you can even get a deposit bonus and claim even a Porsche 911 if you do get the trading volume in here. So insane deposit bonus, and it's only valid if you sign up an account using that link below. But make sure to check it out if it's available in your region. So further on, we can currently see here that the exchange reserves on Bitcoin are still falling, of course. This is an updated chart here. But also on the Bitcoin dominance, we are seeing the Bitcoin dominance being very strong. Ethereum really doing not so much over here right now. And honestly, I am just super excited about Ethereum. I am super excited about Ethereum. I talked about it in yesterday's video. This chart really looks like it is going to be popping anytime soon here. Just look at the previous occasions on Ethereum, 2021, 2024, 2025. And to be exact here, guys, I'm not going to state a crazy price target, but the price target is just going to be the top side of the wedge. So it's only like a 26% move here, but a 26% move is going to be quite big for the market. And you have to understand that Trump media is buying a lot of Ethereum. So it's probably going to be having somewhat of an effect here. So very excited for that here, and honestly looking very much forward towards what is going to be happening over there here. So extremely excited. Ethereum is really lacking behind here, and honestly, that is just a signal that yeah, most people are actually fading Ethereum right now here, but ultimately I do think it's going to be making a very strong comeback here. So yeah, the total cryptocurrency market cap here right now, just like 2017, is creating a calm before the storm here. And honestly, I think this is one of the worst periods to be fading the market. So this was it for me in today's update video, guys. If you did enjoy it, learn something from it, don't forget to sub that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm taking massive trades on Ethereum and some ecosystem coins that I think are going to be benefiting if Ethereum is going to be pumping. Because yeah, I just like to take a little bit of a risk here, but I do think the chart is just looking very strong for like a 20% pump plus. So yeah, looking forward towards that here. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.